I don't know, I get home from the meeting and then I'm like, well, so.
Yeah. Yeah. So Happy New Year. I haven't had a chance to say that to you. I don't know how long you can actually say that. Well, we're already at the 17th day.
It's the happy fake New Year. To me, at least we all know that they changed the calendar and it's really in the spring. But
I know somebody did a really good, there's a lot of videos out there on it. Why would we do a New Year's resolution in the wintertime? That it's more like it should be planting the seed in the springtime, right?
yep,
So, um,
everything blooms and grows in the springtime. It doesn't grow in the middle of the wintertime.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Okay, so let's see here. We have a few people that are jumping in, and I'm going to wait for a little bit more. I should be able to see Rumble in here. That happened the other day. I'm getting these Rumble chats. We'll see if that happens. If anybody's out on Rumble, just say hi, and we'll test it.
Rumble. I don't have my other phone today to check the Rumble.
Oh, I suppose I could do that. I didn't even think of that myself, but yeah. So, gosh, Buck, it seems like forever since we talked.
Yeah, it's been a while, Janine. How's everything going on your end?
It's going good. It's definitely do feel the changes in the energies.
Hmm.
Like I said, we're at the opposite end of our life, and we're thinking more about our health more and more all the time. And it's just it's not that we want to cheat death or anything, but I kind of do.
Well, it's as crazy as it sounds. I used to tell people when I was younger this how stupid I was about. I used to think that I'm gonna enjoy when I was in my partying days, drinking and using. I only live once. I want to have fun while I can. Well, it's true, right? We only live once, and we should make the most of it and extend our life as long as we have in this 3D body, right?
Yeah, yeah, I definitely just to kind of I Buck, I don't know what it is, but it's like the last few weeks I have been all over the place, kind of scattered. And I try to stay focused most of the time, but it's worse this time right now. So I see Mag One out there is on Rumble and it's just doing a check, 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 check.
Microphone check 1 2.
Yeah, yeah. I see. Yeah, they're saying Rumble is working. Janine, can you see me? I can see you. I can see clearly now.
Like you said, it shouldn't take a New Year's resolution to be able to change our habits. We could change our habits at any given moment of the day. Um, and I've been going. I tell people all the time. I don't like the gym, right? But I also like the benefits of and the outcome of when you work hard at it. Nothing rewarding is easy, right, Janine? We got
You
if
better,
we
you
want
better believe,
something.
Buck. You look good. I mean, you do. You look good. Your eyes are much bluer tonight for some reason.
Ooh. It's the white shirt probably. It's the white the color of the shirt brings out the eyes. So
Yeah, yeah, that's true. If you want to give a shout out to anybody out here that I see, lots of YouTubers are out here.
well,
We are.
that's what what's up. That's what I'm on. My other phone is in usage. That's why I got the Zoom that I usually run on Saturdays as the host. So that's on my other phone. But I see Colleen, Allie, Stewie, Colleen, James Bone, Leah on YouTube. So only six, but that's okay, right, Janine? It's
It,
family, and that's what we're here for. We're here to
I'm actually showing 17 out
us.
there right now. That's got to
Really?
be. It's got to be including the Rumble. So
Okay, seven.
anybody.
Oh, let me. I got lucky 13 at the moment. It could be just my phone, but that's all right. So I like 17. 17's a good number. You
Yeah.
know.
Let me just see. I'm going to check my other phone here. Let me see. Okay, some of you people out on Rumble, let's just say hi to us. So I have a faith-based channel out there called True Lens. It just hit 10,000 subscribers, with me just posting these little short clips, and for whatever it's worth, YouTube made it really difficult for anybody new starting up this year. And so this channel here, Ripple Waves is a new channel, but Rumble has been taken off for me, believe it or not. And even when I wasn't posting, people were subscribing to that channel over there. The last 2 months, I threw in my hat and said, I'm done. No more
Well,
social media.
I'm with you. It's the algorithm, right? They suppress people and they put out who they want to put out, and some stuff takes off, right? And some tough stuff just sits there and doesn't grow, and then you see people that have big channels lose people, and it's just like how you lose about 10,000 people or more, and it's just like I doubt that many people unsubscribed at the same time or in the same time frame to lose that many people.
Yeah, people out on X are bitching like, if they have 5 million, they're saying, "Hey, I just lost 1 million." Can you imagine? So it's AI that's running all this stuff, and I have a problem with that because AI can only build itself to be better based upon the data that it's getting. So if they make it so difficult for you to do anything, it's almost like we are competing against the robots, whether we know it or not. And do we think like a robot? Hell no. But YouTube is making us comply to the robot rules. That's my soapbox for the night, and it really pisses me off.
That I mean, because I watched like a podcast who said the same thing. It's like, what am I doing? She was like, what am I doing wrong to lose that many people? And it's not, you're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
It's how they set up the algorithm. You know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So we got about 14 people out on. I'm not sure when I should go live. So I do know, depending on what the subject title is, whether or not people will come on here. So this is silly as it sounds. People out on X, just to get the clickbait shit, they're saying they're giving away silver at this time. Answer this question and we'll give you a kilo of silver. It's like, oh my God, people.
It, that's what I'm still concerned with. It's like, are we really going to change? Because some people ain't. That's the thing. We can change all we want, but we still got to deal with some people that are just like see something totally different than majority of the people. So that's where it's like sometimes it really wonders. It's like, where are we really dealing with NPCs? Because I see something totally different, and people that I know and love are seeing totally something different, totally opposite of what I'm seeing. It's just like it's just that reality, right? Where we're on a different level. Let's just say, right?
Yeah.
We're in Earth School. We're in different portions of our graduation level. Some people are just, they fail.
Yeah.
They keep failing class.
I'm telling you, yeah, it is kind of that way. It's like everybody was set up to do their own schooling in their own way, and we're still having to conform and comply no matter which way we turn. But that's another whole different thing. So it's a new year. I didn't really make any New Year's resolutions. I just consciously, like you said, in at that time and moment, am I going to behave a certain way or not be nice to somebody or be nice to somebody, that type of thing. It's more conscious, and just trying to get to the best person that I can be. But other than that, everything is just kind of going normal here. I had to wash the dogs today and I had to groom them, and my poor Bella, I don't even want to show her.
Why?
Because she looks chopped up. So
Oh,
my husband, we put the sauna together, and 3 days later his back goes out. It didn't go out like right afterwards, and so yeah, and so then he sees her running, and he goes, "Oh my God, what did you do to her?" I said, "Well, I got this new clipper thing. It was really expensive. It got tired of taking her to the groomers that just shave her down anyways." And he looked at her, and there's like blotches here and there, and so he got in there and he got up and he fixed her. And then
there
we
you go.
realized, then he was trying to educate me. I don't know anything about, shavers or anything. He shaves his head from time to time. So he was educating me on it. And it turns out that the clipper number was a 10. And I'm thinking, oh, that'll give me much more height. It was reversed. it was reversed. It gave me like 1.33 millimeters or something like that. So, anyways, I'm always learning. I don't care how old I am.
Well, that's what it's all about. It's all about learning, right? A lot of people don't want to try something new because they're afraid of failing. They don't want to, because we're our own worst enemy, right? I mean, we beat ourselves up more than somebody else usually, and it's disappointment when you don't. But you won't know until you try, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. So, okay, so we're into this about 10 minutes and we've got a lot more people out there. And Charlene321 is out there and she says, if I fail, and she's referring to, it's interesting. I'm just going to read what she has, or you can see it on the screen too. If I fail this time, I'm going to refuse to come back. Enough is more than enough. Now, that's interesting how she phrases that. What is failing? We heard so many different things, free will, or you have to, complete some karma. I don't know what the truth is, but if God says, Janine, go back one more time, I guess I'll go back.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm with Colleen. I don't know if I want to come back. I mean, these last few weeks, let's just say, has been very, very like frustrating at times. It's just because you don't want to see anybody like be so dumb, but there really are dumb people, and I hate to say it, but because you don't want anybody to be dumb, you want everybody to thrive, right? And it's just like, how do you just that? Ugh.
Well, you call them dumb. I call them insane, insanity. So I don't know. Maybe there was a time jump and then a lot of people got left out of it.
I, you know, I'm starting to think it because that's the other thing because the last few weeks, it's like you've just time's been like off and on, right? Usually, like sometimes I can nap during the week after my meeting before work. I have been able to sleep this tonight. Last night I slept pretty good. Um, but it also feels like I'll be sitting here sometimes and my head just be like it feels like it's going whoop whoop whoop. I know we
Yeah.
are getting a lot of energy from the sun, but yeah, it's just I'll be sitting here and it feels like my head's being like a balloon. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
My ears. It's just like I'll be sitting there and all of a sudden nothing, and all of a sudden it's like, what the hell is going on here? Yeah, I know. It's definitely something, and I just kind of wish we had the answers to this kind of stuff.
Yeah, but unfortunately, the teacher doesn't give us the answers to the test. I wish they
Yeah,
did. I used to
yeah.
give the answers on my hand to the test.
I always did one of these, stretching
Uh,
my neck.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I think we
Um,
knew that school was BS, right? It's like it's all about a memory test. It's all about memory on tests here. My
Definitely.
memory is no good. So
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, here is Miss Unicorn. Is that is that the name there? Where'd it go? Every time I go to click on her, she jumps here. Can you see that? Sinus issues and head pressure. Yes. Ding 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 ding. She wins. Definitely.
it's funny because I started what I did. I bought a friend of mine gave me essential oils, right?
Oh yeah.
So I got the eucalyptic mint that I've been taking since you said sauna, right? You take that eucalyptic mint in that sauna, you want to talk about clearing up your sinuses. That works. That works. Because I started putting it in my shower, like just opening up the cap and laying it, so I could breathe in the mint when you. So that helps great in the sauna. You should try that eucalyptic mint.
Yeah, actually, we have one of those. We got the. I don't know. I don't really care for all the bells and the whistles, but they came with it. So it has the color therapy, the red, the blue, the white, and then there's
That
one that I
that would be
kept
good
pushing.
for his back. The red
Yeah,
light therapy.
yeah. and I pushed one button. I'm called a button pusher in my house, and I pushed it, and just all of them started. And I'm like, this is cool. I could do this,
Yeah.
And it's got if you wanted to Bluetooth your iPhone to it, or it's got a radio, and the radio is really good on it. A lot of country music's that you get down here, right? And
Yeah.
what else does it have? It was kind of fancy. I mean, he was thinking that he would get like a two-person one where the bench would be long because he's a tall guy.
Yeah.
And it turns out that the benches were split on each side. There's a bench here and one on the left side and one on the right side. And if we would have known that, we would have just got a single one. But it is really nice. It's infrared, and I think I'm slowly building up to the heat, about 98 degrees, and then I have to get out, and it'll go up to 140. But yeah, it's detoxing. It's just pulling all that stuff out. I recommend it for anyone that can get one. Get one.
Yeah. Because that's one thing that I always promise myself when I do get a house, it's got to have a sauna and a steam room. Steam room is a must because I do get headaches and migraines, and the steam room always helped the best.
Yeah, let's
And
see. I'm gonna flip this one on here, and just so that everybody can see the chats. There's a lot of people out there. Let's see here. Mary Jones is out there. Oh, okay. Leah says she's experiencing the sinus issues also too. Oil of oregano works great. I have all my essential oils out too. Oh, that's the other thing that this thing comes with. I started to say is like an ionizer or something like that. Really good smell. It cleans the air.
yeah,
Um, it's only as good as they make them, but yeah, definitely gonna put some of the essential oils in. I always put essential oils in the kitchen, and I don't tell my husband I've got this little thing going, and it really good smells like cinnamon, and then I'll do like an apple or vanilla, and he'll all of a sudden he's like, I'm really hungry for like pancakes or French toast
so
or
that's the
so
trick, Janine, to start making the house smell like food. So he starts cooking. Good move.
yeah, he loves to cook. He loves to cook, but
Yeah.
talking about cooking, so you cook and your wife cooks, right? And you
Hmm.
make something, and I always will think he could have done added a little more seasoning here, or could have done this differently. And then
That's
when I
that's that's her. That's Amanda. She's like that.
yeah, and then when I cook, he'll just go, "It's all right."
That's this one. Yep. Well, let's make something different, and then she'll try something different. I could have used. I'm like, but it's still good though. It's like, but you could have used less of this. It's fine, you know.
I I know, I know. Do we go to a restaurant and do we say that to. No, we
No,
don't. But
because she
all
she
right.
she made she made this like turmeric tea last night with like
Ooh,
coconut
good.
like coconut milk and whatever and black pepper, right? And to be
Yeah,
honest, it kind of because she bought this turmeric powder thing. To be
yeah,
honest,
yeah,
it tasted like vanilla pudding, right? With the coconut milk and the regular milk in it, the way she
yeah,
made
yeah,
it, and she made it into a tea, and it tasted like vanilla pudding. It wasn't too bad, but of course, like I said, oh, I could use a little bit more of this, and maybe get this next. It's fine because coconut oil. She put olive oil instead of cook because it said cook. It's got the coconut milk in it. It's fine.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a big thing. That turmeric drink is big in coffee shops, tea shops right now. Make it at home, and yeah, that's the other thing too about experiment. If you put something in there by mistake, it's really not a mistake. Especially if it turns out, hey, I kind of like this.
yeah.
It's
You don't
we're
always
like
have to follow a recipe. Making your own, right? You add a little something. I think that's what it
yeah,
is, right? Because some people, that's a recipe. But you know what? I can add a little bit of this and that. Now it's your own recipe.
yeah. We're just like doctors. We're practicing cooking
Yeah.
instead of practicing medicine.
Yep. Exactly. I mean, we all know that practicing food is a lot better than practicing medicine.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see here.
Oh,
So,
yeah, that golden milk. That's what she called it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if it looks, it's yellow, so it looks.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's great for dogs too. That turmeric, I was giving that to my dog, and it's all good. It's all really good stuff. And actually, my husband's really on board with all the good stuff. It's been a little bit of a struggle, and he would get to the point, well, what can I eat? What can I eat? And once you get off of the junk food and stuff, and you go back to it, it doesn't taste as good as you thought it did before.
No, and it's funny, Jeannie, because she was the same. She's starting to wake up to more of the things that I've been telling her for a long time. As far as the health, all the crap and crap food that's in the shelves that they sell in the stores. She's getting a little bit more conscious of it, which is so that's a good thing. That's why I think some of us are waking up, right, to to reality of what's really going on, and watching out for what they're putting into their body, or waking up to the fact of they're not in our bench. A lot of these food companies don't put the best products in their food. Poison.
Well, it's kind of hard to not be conscious of it because it's really been all over the place. And if you turn on mainstream media news, Walmart in 2027 will be removing all these chemicals and whatever preservatives, whatever it is that they've been talking about. It's kind of hard to not miss it. But yeah, it is interesting to see a lot of people waking up right now, and I think it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because with the fact that they changed the pyramid, right? It's now reversed. Um,
Oh yeah,
so I mean that's we already know that for a long time, right? That the grains nowadays are mostly GMO'd, right? So and the fact that they flipped the chart. So, but why do we got to wait till 27 to get all the product junk out of it, right? I think it should be done now, right? We
I
shouldn't have to
know.
wait.
I know. I know. It amazes me that people say, well, it's going to take a long time for them. No, it doesn't. You clear out those manufacturing,
Yeah.
distribution, all that other stuff, and I think it's a lot of it's already been done, but they still have to play tug of war at this particular time. I'm glad that they did, and they put fat back in the food triangle thing, whatever.
Yeah.
They put it back in there because they always told everyone fat was bad for you while they were fattening us up on other stuff,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
And now good fat, I should say.
Yeah, that's why you look before the chart was made and everybody was healthy. And not one, if you look at those old pictures, not one fat person on the beach. And it's just like food chart comes out and the rest is history.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just so much going on. And Buck, and I wish really soon that you can get your own house and just put it out there manifesting, because I think at the end of this year it's going to be awesome. With the rates, the monies, whatever's happening is going to be happening for a lot of people. And I just think that if I were you, Buck, this is how I play my cards. I would just start looking like as if you're ready to go and get one. You're putting the energy out there. Find that sauna, find that that spa in the house, and don't forget the swimming pool.
Well, yeah, the swimming pool, because me, I prefer Florida just because I want to be near a beach. And of course it's always good to have a pool, right? Um, I know Juliana is she likes Florida but doesn't love it, and that's okay, I guess. Like with what I believe the technology is going to be coming out anyway. I don't think we're going to be worrying about the hassle of traveling too much. Yeah, maybe that's wishful thinking, but I believe with some of the patents that they release and that nobody talks about, um, that travel will be a lot more easier to go visit family.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
but I just wish it was kind of like back when my grandparents growing up, right? Because when I growing up, my grandparents had a house in New Jersey and a house in Florida. the snowbirds, right? They go for the winter time. They go to fly down to Florida. Summertime, they fly back up to New York. So it was a lot easier then to be able to own two homes, right? Now half the population can't even own one home. Everybody's mostly renters, and that's what they wanted. They wanted nobody. They didn't want homeowners, right?
Right, exactly. They wanted everybody to rent. Now they're flipping it, and so we had these two houses sitting on our block for about 6 months. They both sold at the same time, so I just think that there's going to be a lot of good things for people that want to get in there and have a home and settle down. Oh, I'm going to switch subjects here only because I haven't heard this name until recently. It came up, and it's so funny. I was thought of you, and I don't know why. Joey Bonifuco. Do you remember that?
Oh, Joe Buttafuoco, yeah. Hakeem, yeah.
So I guess his wife has got a movie out, or his ex-wife, whatever you want to call it. And I didn't pay a lot of attention when that was going on. That it was it was crazy, is what it was. So
Yeah.
she's out there, and I'm going flipping through the TV. I'm seeing Buttafuoco. I'm like, what the hell? Are they back or something? But now it's her turn. 30 years later to tell her story. Oh my God, have we not had enough of that family?
I know I have, right? That whole situation was just like you said. The fact they even made porn out of it. It's
Yeah.
let's just say what's the word I'm looking for? You prosper on somebody else's misery, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you cheated on you.
He was a pedophile. We could say it that way today. He
Yeah.
was 35 years old and she was 16. And nobody ever brought it up. It was just nobody ever said it. But now the mother's coming back, or the ex-wife is coming back. But yeah, it's interesting. But I was like, why am I seeing Buttafuoco all over the place? I thought we're done with that. But yeah, so
Yeah,
it
why
was
come
just.
out with a movie now all these years later? It should have been that should have came out before the fact that she made pornos, the Amy Fisher.
See, I'm surprised that you said that you knew about it because, I look at you as being a lot younger than me. And so all these other generations, they're not going to give a shit about it.
No,
You
I
know,
don't.
it's like you say it to your daughter. Do you want to watch this thing about this guy that cheated on his
Yeah,
wife? No, it sounds boring, right?
I don't give a shit. It's like people my age would be the only ones that really give a crap, and I don't give a crap. So it's like it's very sad, right? The fact of you preyed on an innocent girl, very emotional. It's just and it's like she shoots the wife, and it's just like the fact that you capitalize on both Amy Fisher, Joey, they both capitalize on a tragedy, and the fact of and that's the what the media does, right? I mean, they glorify these people who are committing these heinous acts and all this debauchery and everything, all this other crap, and it's like, yeah, let's make movies and it's a messed up world, Janine.
It really is. And nobody's, it's like you can't speak the truth because if you speak the truth, you'll be shut down. And we knew this how many years ago, Buck. It's getting to the point that it's getting so old that we know the truth now. You talk about people are more conscious now. When people become more consciousness, it's quite obvious that we become more intuitive. A lot of things are changing. The energies. So if I don't know if you follow Trump or not, but he was just out there talking about the tariffs, right? Last time the tariffs took place was 1893, and there was so much money in this country because of the tariffs. And I think about all the world fairs in Chicago, all the gold that was around, and they had moving sidewalks. Some even say they had cell phones back in that time. I have no idea what was invented. And then all of a sudden, after all that big celebration was over with, is when the disaster came in and everything was wiped out and cleaned, right?
Yeah.
And we still will never know. Me and my husband were sitting there watching something about Mexico and the pyramids, and I said, we'll never know the truth on this stuff and how they were actually built. It's so sad.
It's like the you coming in there with right with the invention, and the person that you're fighting for comes in, that your competition comes in there and destroys your project before you even, and that's what it was, right? To keep us freaking down in this reality where that's what we're in now, right? I mean, it's just all negativity. They don't want us to prosper, you know.
Yeah. 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 So I'm going to jump back to this one. Dakota, I think, was a nurse. She's in the chat today, and she says she was in the hospital. I think she's talking about Mary Buttafuoco was in the hospital where she worked in. I bet you that was chaos over there too at that time.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. So, anyways, I'm sorry I even brought that up, but for some reason, the universe wants us to know about that story again. And I think there's bigger stories out there. But what's real and what's not real, I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, what I don't even. Half the stuff it doesn't seem to be real. You know.
I know. Like Mini No Place. I don't think that's real. I think that's very old stuff,
What
regurgitated.
mini no place?
Minneapolis.
Oh, is that what they call mini no place? That's a
Well,
good.
they used 2 years ago. They used to
Yeah,
call it Mini No Place. It actually used to be called the Land of 10,000 Lakes, and nobody knows it as that now. Now they know it as Somalia.
fraud state of the world. I mean, I don't know. If I lived there, I wouldn't be paying taxes. I don't even want to pay taxes now, but I got somebody that still believes in paying taxes that is against the law.
Yeah, I know. I've
So
been there. I've been there, and I remember. There were. And then I'll say, okay, I'll tell you what, you pay them, leave mine because we do pay our taxes together. Just leave my stuff out of there. I'll deal with it. Well, fine, you go to jail then.
I heard the exact same thing. So I just, you know what? Let them steal our money because whatever. But we go to jail. They don't go to jail.
I
And
know.
it's
Accountability is just bullshit.
that's why
Right?
that's why I said,
How many people out there have been saying this for years? Just show us one person to get thrown in jail. Then I kind of listened to some of the mainstream influencers like Glenn Beck, and he's like, we don't want to see the Clintons in jail right now. Nobody can see where the Clintons are at right now unless you go, digging. I want to leave it at that.
I'm with you on that. That's why they're not. That's why they never showed up to the subpoena because how could a dead person show up to the subpoena? Oh,
Oh,
it, yeah. We don't know what's going to come out of it, right? It is tough because we all want to see the perp walks, right? But
yeah,
we're not, and people should, right? Because you gotta make, like you said, accountability. That's why I said my terminology is met for MAGA is make accountability great again, because that's what we don't have no accountability, and that's why everybody gets away with all this friggin' crap, except the people that do it the right way.
yeah. I know. Okay, so you're wanting everybody to know the truth about a man cannot get pregnant. Okay, you want them to know this stuff, the nonsense shit that's out there, but you can't teach someone how to be accountable for their actions. And I've seen this in my whole lifetime throughout corporate, not as much as in the government because I never paid much attention to it. But the more it always seemed like the more intelligent you were to rip somebody off, you got away with it. And so, if humanity is ever going to learn anything, Buck, do you want to take a stab at how you think this is all going to play out? Is anybody going to be accountable for any of this?
Well, in the end, it always comes down to the individual, or ourselves. It's gonna because everybody's expecting somebody else to do shit. And what about being accountable? What we just talked about, accountable. Why ain't people counter protesting what's going on and helping ICE? Why are people counter protesting? Or even donating, or everybody's the keyboard warrior, right? Giving their opinion and arguing. You're not going to change the other person's mind. They're not going to change your mind. So why are we sitting there being keyboard warriors? You want to be the change in the world? Be the change. It still comes down to ourselves. It's like in recovery. People can help you in recovery all you want, but if you don't want it, you're not going to get the help. You're not going to stay clean. You know, it's an everyday change. It's you know, it's
That's a
that
good point.
accountability is what's important.
That's a great point. So, Buck, have you been seeing? Well, I don't know what kind of establishment that you're in. Is it alcohol, or is it drugs, or is it both?
It's everything. They have all different type of meetings there. They have family meetings. So there's different smart recovery, which is more about like you know the I haven't been there because of work, but it's more of like the mental side of things,
Yeah.
right? Getting out of your own head, doing something instead of sitting there in your head being down on yourself. Do something positive. Listen to music. Draw something. Do a puzzle. Something to get you out of that negative mindset. So it's all about uh, mind, body, and spirit type of recovery. So there's different types of the ones I go to are considered all recovery meetings where they believe in many pathways of recovery. So it's not a 12-step program. It's more like group counseling where you can get a coach, a personalized coach. You can get a sponsor. You can do the 12 steps. Nobody has any. It's whatever works for you is what we want. What we, and some people meetings. That's mine was meetings, going to meetings every day. And but there's everything you can do that there. They have it is a 501(c). They have gotten their funding. Some of their funding got dried up, so they had to lay off a few people. And so one of my humanitarian projects will be to help. But I'm still trying to figure out the details, but because they got rid of the veteran, they had a veteran coach, to deal with all the military. They got rid of him because of the funding, and it's not like they were getting paid a lot. But and this guy still comes to facilitate the meetings. So it's
Well,
more,
that's kind of like where I was going to go. I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's kind of like, all right, so they're taking a look at all this funding for child care, for health care, for all these other things. I'm just wondering if you've seen the effects of it. And they supposedly have stopped all the drugs coming in this country, right? All that stuff. Maybe you'll see the ripple effect of that later on. I don't know, but there is a question for you out here. Blue Sky.
yeah, that's Leon, and yes, we do have a program for us crazy people, and that's pretty much every meeting because nobody is normal. Actually, people in the meetings are more normal than the people that's outside of the meeting.
Yeah, so everybody's saying, "Hey, Buck, you need more hours in the day." My hat's off to you that you're doing that. Now I've signed up for some volunteer things, and you don't hear back, but then they turn around and they're constantly saying they need the help. Well, when people do sign up, you better take advantage of their help. So I was just trying to deliver Meals on Wheels to people that can't get to the store and get food and stuff like that. Um, where I'm at, there are some pockets. My husband wants me to be very careful of different areas that I go into,
Yeah,
but that's anywhere. That is just, what are you doing, Rizzo? Sorry. He's digging in the carpet behind me.
maybe drop some food in there.
No, actually, I put up one of those mesh nets to keep them out, but I didn't realize they were going to whine the way that they did. I'm like, all right, come in. I'm so glad that I spent all that money on the net to keep you out because they get the zoomies, and they one time almost took my computer clear across the room. Um, all right, so let's see what you're saying. So yeah, the crazies. I'm telling you, they got rid of the mental institutions and they let everybody go free. They put a lot of drugs into the country. Not that it matters much, but how are they going to clean it up? I haven't heard anyone talking about that, and that is so important. Like what you're doing, Buck, what you're doing is just it's priceless. That's all I could say, because you can only take one person at a time, right? You can only help one
Yeah.
person at a time, and when you get into these group things, I don't know how much time that you spend with it, but I bet you're just awesome with all of them, just to let them know that you do care.
Well, it's an hour every day, and it's noon to 1. Um, I usually leave early because I have a lot of recovery time. Right, September will be 10 years, so I don't
Wow.
stay for the whole meeting. I try to come. I do try to come home and get my nap in before work, and that's the only reason why I leave early. I got to get my at least if I don't nap, it's my meditation time because I listen to relaxing music. That's the only reason why I leave early. But I've been facilitating the Saturday meetings, and we get a good turn. We've gotten a great turnout. I mean, it's only 3 weeks into the new year, but first week we had 28, last week we had 29, and we had 27 today. Um, and it's about giving back because I know, the hardest thing for me was to ask for help, and so I know when I got in there, I kind of, that everyone's willing to help. And I think that's what it's all about. We're not just in recovery; it's about in general helping each other out in general. Um,
Yeah. Yeah,
that's what we need to get back to.
that whole thing of asking for help, that's huge, and I know that it's tougher for men. So, like I was saying earlier, on True Lens is a faith based. It's a very 30 seconds to a minute of God, just little prayers to Lord God, Jesus, whatever you want to call it, universe, whatever. But it's just saying, it's just a short prayer, and it went, and I got there very quickly with it, and it made me realize, and I continue to do this. Um, and I just take about an hour out of my morning. If I'm up very early in the morning, and I just say, if there's 10,000 people that jumped on this within 2 months, there's a lot of people that are looking for a prayer, and not just to be saying it in their own head, but once they actually see it, and then they respond back in a comment to it.
Yeah.
And I just think that people want help.
And for me, I have a big thing of when somebody's like speaking, to listen and pay attention, right? Um, that's important. I mean, so I, and I have a habit because I'm from New York. We have a tendency to like look here, but also have that ear listening. So I have a tendency to do that. But in a meeting, I'm very intent on making the person. I want to know what they're saying, right? To absorb what they're saying, and because some people, they might be looking at their phone or they might be just not paying attention, and people, they want to. Some people want to be heard. Just they're if you know, it ain't easy for when you when guy says in the meeting, he's like the easy part is what he's what's the so the hardest part is to stay clean, right? Not have a drink or a drug, especially since it's on every corner. Um, but it's very important just to express yourself too. They like, especially like you said earlier, they guys, um, they tell it's a sign of weakness to ask for help, right? It's that programming that they say, oh, you're weak if you ask for help. Um, so for me, that's why going in and sometimes you get the help without even asking for it, right? Because you'll hear something that somebody says that will be like, ah, okay, I can use that when times get rough. Simple saying, and that's why I always fill myself up with the quotes, you know, and put them on the board. And it's all the reason why I do is because people say it helps them.
Yeah. You're damn right. You're giving them one bit of information they didn't have when they walked in the door. It's different information, and it may have been said, completely a different way, but that in that particular moment, they're hearing it and seeing it. Um, it says people naturally want to help. It's the point that is widely abused for profit or control. And that's the big picture of it all. But I'm thinking like what Buck is actually doing is more of an intimate, controlled arena. That's what we need to do is get back to these small little groups in your own community. Cut out the middleman and the big corporate. Cut out corporation altogether. I am so sold on that. Um,
Yeah, because
yeah,
it's like you got psychiatrists, right? And they take your insurance. Me and Leon Blue Sky were talking earlier about the insurance, right? It's like they want you in there all the time for my psychiatrist, right? Somebody who never had to really deal with, never admitted to themselves or to other people that they were an addict or alcoholic. I'm going to go to this person who has no idea what my troubles are. Yes, they might be have a paper that says they can help, but nobody can help my the troubles that I was dealing with. Nobody could help me better than another addict. So I learned more from the in the rooms than I ever did growing up about living life. I mean, I was always a pretty decent person, but I'm kind of always in active addiction. I was also a selfish person, right? Because all I cared about was getting high. Um, but you get in, go into the room, and then you realize that there's a different way of living, and you got to change everything, not just one thing. You got to change everything.
exactly. And so, these addictions come in many different forms and flavors. And, you could be a control freak. That's an addiction. You can be,
Mhm.
through the drugs or through the alcohol. There's just so many ways. Food addictions. It just goes on and on. We're not even. I think we're getting to that point. We're going to be more and more conscious of it. That's I'm hoping and praying, and I want to put that out there that we continue to work on ourselves in 26 and 27. I just hope that we start to see the streets cleaned up and the drugs gone. If this is what they're preaching out there, and if this is what the current administration is talking about, let's see more of the proof in the pudding with all of this, because we lost so many young souls out there to this.
Yep.
Uh,
Mental disease and mental health is not talked about enough. You know, that's why that's what's good about the smart recovery, because it's more about that, like mindful. And that's what we need to get back to, is more the mental health side. Stop the brainwashing, get rid of the media. I mean, the problem is the media is still on. I have no idea what the heck they're doing with the media.
it's
Um,
huge. It's one of the bigger things that I don't know how else they're going to attack this, but it's growing. It's almost like a virus. It is continually
yeah.
growing. You got Netscape and Warner Brothers, and they're all eating up each other. It's such a conglomerate that. So here's a good example. All right, I'm not going to hide this. Me and my husband, we love sports again, and I've always loved the baseball. So he's into this football, especially with the Chicago Bears, and it's a game
Hmm.
tomorrow. And so there's all these memes out there. If you want to watch a football game, the first quarter you got to go to Netflix. The second quarter you got to go to Prime. Third quarter you got to go to, Hulu. It's crazy what they're doing. They just dissected this up, and they're making people spread their money. And it's the main networks that own them: ABC, CBS, and whatever else is out there.
Yep.
They own everything.
Yeah. And there's no, it's the same thing with the food too. You know, it's always the same people, the food, the TV. It's the same companies that run everything. And then you got the what recently came out, right? You had the NBA fixing games, and now you got college basketball fixing games. I
And
still
then
watch.
the Chicago Bears. Come on, you tell me that wasn't fixed last. Did you? I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a lot
I
of
watch that.
plays. Any guys out there that watch the football game? The Bears sucked the first quarter, and then all of a sudden, Green Bay. Then they're rival teams, so that's why I know it so well. But then all of a sudden, Green Bay sucked. They just threw the game away, and then the Bears won it. It's a pattern for the last 7 games. Come on.
Yeah, there's a lot of like it's hard to I like you, Janine. I still watch it just because there's nothing. Most of the apps, like I don't have cable, right? And if I and I don't watch TV often. Especially on the weekends. I watch maybe a TV show, but I'm usually out on the weekends now or just sleeping like I was before. But it's I watch TV during the week because sometimes work is slow, and I'll have my laptop with me and I'll watch TV. But I watch sports, and yeah, it's hard to watch some of these games. It's just like even the college football. It's like some of the games are blown out. It's like a lot of the calls you question. So yeah, and now that these college football players are making you know so much money, they're making just as much money in college as they're doing in the pros.
Yep, it depends
We don't
on
talk
whether.
about that though.
Yeah, they don't talk about the red states are gonna, or the blue states. The blue states is the championships all the time, whatever the sport is. They're collecting all that money from the marketing and all this other stuff. Come on, I mean that's what I see. It's not that they're throwing the game as much. It's like, how could LA Dodgers consistently win all the time in Kansas City? These are they need to clean that all up, and I think that they're
You
headed that
per-
way.
you said it perfect, Janine. It's like baseball, right? Growing up, I was a Yankee fan, and they were terrible. Okay, I grew up in the late '80s. The Yankees were terrible. Okay, they weren't good until like the late '90s. But it's just like, they always talk about, oh, Yankees are buying championships. But I was like, well, not when I was growing up. But yeah, they were signing these players, right? But they weren't winning championships. And then you get the Dodgers right now. They're signing players like left and right. They're just the tax alone that they're paying. Combine the taxes of both New York baseball teams. So the Dodgers tax that they pay, because in baseball you got a certain level. After that level, you got to pay a luxury tax, and that luxury tax gets split through the little small market teams. Well, their luxury tax was bigger than both the Yankees and the Mets combined, and now they saw it's just one player makes more money than like the Kansas City Royals. It's like how is one person's salary bigger than a whole team's salary? It's just I you know
How does
the
the
Yankees.
Somalias get $1 million in a suitcase and go through the airports every single day? I mean, it's
Yeah, but we got to
they're
report the
all,
$10,000
we're
to
not
them.
in their clique. We're not part of them. So they continue to treat us as slaves, and that's it. I actually, out on Rumble, I put a video out there. If anybody wants to go and see it, there's this it's a black gentleman, I can't think of his name, explaining exactly how we should not be paying for water, all these natural resources that are given to us by Mother Nature, and we come into this when we're born into this planet, and how we are taxed the minute that we come into it. It's just a
Yeah, the minute we're born and the minute we're slaves,
yeah.
right?
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a couple questions if you don't mind.
No good.
All right, let's see here. So, with what we've learned in the past, okay, any lessons or anything like that? Um, what would you right now tell yourself in the past? Like, what you know right now, leading up to all these years of you know being awake, and let's say we went back, say 15 years. What's the one thing that you could tell yourself, your I don't know how old you would have been. Your How old are you?
Should I tell the truth or should I lie?
You could lie. You're 20, to say
I'll
what
I'll,
your
I'll be
20
48.
20 year old
I'll be
self.
48 next month. So
Holy shit.
so so 15 years ago.
No, just say your 20-year-old self. Let's put
Oh,
it
my
that way. Keep
20-year-old
it.
self. Don't do
Yeah.
drugs. Now, let's
That's a
see.
good one, because if you were doing drugs at that time, how could you actually have convinced yourself not to do it? There had to be something very pivotal that you would say to yourself. You don't have to share that with us, but it's just something that I think everybody should think about.
My 20-year-old self is. Oh, that's a good one. I don't know what I would tell myself because I'm trying to think of when I was 20 years old. That's a long time ago, Janine.
I know.
Um,
I couldn't even. I know when I was 20 years old. I know how different I was than I am now.
yeah,
I know how much I've grown, and I would just give myself a pep talk, a self pep talk, and just say, look, you believe it or not, in the future you're going to be this way that you always dreamed about. Because I struggled with so much with people. I didn't understand a lot about people.
yeah. Um,
Blue Sky says you're screwed now.
yeah, exactly. Probably because I hate talking about myself. It's
That's okay. You don't have. We're not going to draw any attention to you on this one. So, let's see here. Yeah, that's a question for anybody else that is out there in the chat that wants to put that in. What is the one thing that you would say to your knowing all the things that we have gone through? I've gone through more decades than Buck has, but still, I'd turn around and say, "Hey, buy stocks, buy." I would
yeah,
tell myself, "This is where you got to put your money." Once you get money, Janine. I mean, for
yes,
years I didn't make any money.
no, and that's the thing. It's like I wasted so much money growing up, in addiction that that's why I probably would say the drugs. I mean, because I was a late bloomer. I didn't really get into drugs until 18, right? So, because I was too much into sports at the time. I was fit. I played soccer. I played everything. We grew right. This was before technology, so you didn't have we had some Nintendo, right, and Game Boy and Sega Genesis and all this other the games that first came out, but so we were always out playing. Um, but in school, I didn't really care about school, you know. But I guess I would probably tell myself at 20 years old to just save money. Don't spend it on frivolous things because I haven't been able to own a home because I was too busy partying and spending the money. It, it, the stuff I wasted money on. Um, I would tell myself, don't worry, make something of you. Not wasn't make just get yourself settled first, Um, but then again, I can't change anything, right? I wouldn't change anything because I wouldn't be where I am now without knowing the things that I've been through, the things that I've been through. You know,
Yeah,
obviously, you wish some of the things you do different, right? Because with anybody, any situation
yeah.
that doesn't go your way or wish you would went your way. Um,
Would you change anything about your personality or no?
well, I was a little bit more, probably more self-centered, because I was, you know,
Hey,
I've always
oh,
been
hey.
I've always been a good person, I've always been a loyal person. Um, so, and I've mostly been honest, but there's some, stuff that I've done that I'm not happy about, right? When I was in an active addiction, um, but you live and learn, and
Yeah.
that's what it's about: living and learning, and not keep doing the same mistakes. It just took me a while to finally, I guess you would say, grow up and be more responsible, especially because I was thinking today at the meeting, like for easy, for me, it's easy. I always go back to the reason why I went there in the first place, right? Was to be around for my daughter, and and to memory, not memory, but have those memories, right? That I can actually remember because I'm not using anymore where I would forget what the heck's going on or what we did or so now I can make those memories and actually remember them with a clear head.
There you go.
Mhm.
That is great. Like speaking of AO out there, she is even saying just having the confidence. So one of the things that I've noticed with this younger generation is for some reason they have the confidence, but they don't have the knowledge. It's almost like it's reversed, where I think that we were driven to be patient and to learn and to try to get to learn a lot of different things as we were growing. All of a sudden, it's almost as if the kids learned early on that they had to show that they have the confidence. And I see that in debates on YouTube channels all the time. They sound very confident, but then when they actually have to go and debate their argument, they can't. It's almost reversed from my generation growing up, and I think that's what Ao was saying, that having the confidence back then would have been great. Even for me, that's where I lacked a lot of
Me too.
confidence. I was so wishy-washy, and I look back at how I was like when I was in high school, it was almost like, I remember one time I had somebody say, you're almost like a chameleon, that who's ever in front of you, you will change for them. I was always, being a Pisces, always trying to, I don't know what it was, gain acceptance. I would
Yeah.
tell my 20-year-old, knock it off.
Yeah. Just to fit, right? Being just doing to fit in instead of just being your authentic self, right?
Yeah. I just want to take a cause for a pause here really quickly. Joey G is out there. Everybody say hello to him. He's in the chat. And Joey, just wanted to let you know that we are on Ripples of Waves. This is the YouTube channel that was started up. And thank you, Buck, so much for being here.
You're welcome.
And also, too, if anybody is wanting to learn how to manifest, I've done some videos with Laura Van Tyne, who's I don't know when they're going to start up. I think you still have a couple more weeks if you want to sign up for it. There are codes out there. Use just put my name in if you don't remember, Ripple 20 or Ripple 333, and you'll get almost $100 off if you want to join in a group and be a part of something and really learn how to manifest, because now is the time to bring in all those good energies that you need to bring in at this time. All right, so let's see what else we have out there. Let's see here. So yeah, Happy New Year to you also, Joey. Um,
Happy New Year.
say Stacy is out there. Hey, how you doing? Um, yeah, so this is really good to see everybody out here. And let's see, anything else, Buck?
Um. Oh, I don't have. I mean, for me, nothing has changed since the last time we spoke, except me facilitating more meetings. I got to do Monday too, since the office is closed. Um, we I volunteered to give the coat the like because they did, like I said, they laid off people, so there's only I think 6 coaches now for so
Wow.
many people. Um, so yeah, they'll be closed Monday, so I'll be facilitating that meeting. So
Uh,
it's
that's
a way of
good.
giving back. I look forward to run them. You know,
Yeah, that's fantastic. That you're doing all that and you're taking the time, because I've seen things on television, whether it's true or not, but those meetings are so important, and it's almost as if they don't have somebody to express what it is that they're feeling. They can go in another direction, and if you're there, blessings to you, Buck. So really,
yeah, because we gotta, that's the problem. We hold a lot of people. A lot of people hold everything in, and they sit in it, they dwell on it. It's not healthy for our body. There's a lot of benefits of getting out there and expressing yourself, right? Carol from the Light Workers Institute explains that, about, you know, the more we hold stuff in, the more issues we'll have in our tissues, right? Our body. And that's when, you'll have inflammation and you'll have things act up because you're holding it in. And it's crazy to think that's what it is, but yeah, I mean, we are electrical beings, and
yeah.
so
And it's really important that we keep telling ourselves that we are energy, and wherever our energy goes, wherever our mind goes, our energy goes. So if your mind is going off to a drink or to doing a party or something like that, maybe to switch up, change your mind and then change how you feel about something. That's a big thing. Wayne Dwyer was really big on that. And it felt so true about that. It's just like, we're constantly, we've got this, I don't know what I used to call it a long time ago, but it was almost like you're on the hamster wheel, right? Same thoughts over and over
Yes.
again. And it's the same thing. If you ever done anything really embarrassing in your life and you can't let it go, let it go, because that has moved on. That energy has moved on. It's that was in the past, and you can recreate in the future. And that's what we are. We're creative beings. And I think, Buck, even with what you're doing with your daily things that you put on the board there for the people, you're constantly reminding them that they're shifting every single day. They're not the same person that they woke up as. And I know I'm not. I feel really good every single day that I wake up, and it's a new adventure for me to do whatever it is that I got to do.
No, no, it's all about being happy too, right? And then enjoying life and stop thinking about what we can't control, right? Because there's a lot of stuff out there that we can't control. I can only control what's in my environment, right? So the more I worry about stuff I can't control, the more stress and bad juju I start to get.
Yeah, you just have to get the body moving because, like you
Yeah,
said,
that's
the
why I
mind
never
can
sit
get
home.
stuck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it comes stagnant, right? And the more me and Leon were talking earlier, he's unfortunately has an issue with his knee, and there's two type of people. One that has knee that sits there and dwindles away and right doesn't and feels sorry for themselves and doesn't do the walk and the therapy that they need to do. Or he could be, like or Leon, where he does, he still gets up and walks around and keeps his knee loose to where he doesn't, stiff. Where I'm sure it might stiffen up still, but still, he's still getting up and walking around. I deal with that with my father a lot, where he needs to get up a lot and move around because the more stagnant he comes, the less he's able to walk around, right, and
yeah,
get up and move.
yeah. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I do that with my husband all the time too. But, I even said to him, believe it or not, I said, "Is it time for us to get you a wheelchair?" He goes, "What are you talking about? Were you looking up wheelchairs? I'm not that bad." Well, get it going, buddy.
That's where
Even if it's just
that's where the
this.
poo can help.
Yeah, it's just, even if you were to take the dogs and just go around the block, you're still moving. It's still energy. You're creating something, and you're telling your body that you can do this, right? And you're telling your mind that you are healthy. And there's just so many different things, and it's not that I think that when we are, I don't know what it's like to smoke a lot of dope or anything like that, but now you have a lot of people saying that if you're under a certain age and you're smoking a lot of dope, and I think it's more the younger kids, right? It actually is not allowing the blood flow in the brain. Was that Damon Amen has been talking about this a lot on a lot of different channels. He's just saying that once the blood starts slowing down in the brain, you're not thinking clearly, you're not getting creative. And so, for how long have they been allowing these kids to just go and smoke pot in all these different states? They're changing the laws on all of that. You've got to be an adult.
Yeah. No, yeah, it weed has its medical benefits, but it's all about moderation. It's moderation with everything. It's with same thing with food, you know. But it's a lot of people abuse it.
Yeah.
They smoke constantly. Wake up and smoke. It's just it because we were talking about one of the topics was what was it when you sit almost like the I can't think of the word but self not self harm so harm reduction, right, where people instead of using like the hardcore drugs you smoke weed instead, right. Because we do know that some weed has medical properties for people with cancer, people that can't eat, right. There's some um so there are medicinal usages, but it all comes down to what are you using it for in the first place, right. Um, but yeah, a lot of the kids when they're younger, their brains are still developing. So it's like you're smoking weed. Um, Yeah, you know, some people can smoke weed and think clearly. Some people get their imagination when they smoke. Some people don't. Um, but it's the moderation. It's no when I still love to eat, and that's my problem. Um, I don't always have the urge to oh, let's just say the the will to fight that urge, and I have a lot of sweet. I have a sweet tooth, so
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
like 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 my company sent me this big thing of Lynn chocolates that I have here. It's like right at my desk, obviously for a reason. I know it's not good for me, but I still do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
exactly. But
moderation, though.
in moderation,
Moderation.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the key for anything. And I don't think we should ever deny ourselves something, and but not overindulge in anything that we can. I mean, my downfall is pasta. You name it.
Mhm.
I could eat it. Just Italian food only. And my husband's is cheeseburgers. He loves any type of a cheeseburger. I mean, it's crazy, but we just have to learn to just say, okay, I can have that, a few days or whatever next week. So there you go. Let's see here. Charlene says a cup of tea every day doesn't hurt me. Been having a cup of a day since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, tea is good. I love tea.
Because some programs, of recovery, it's like anything that's a mind altering drug, you need to stop. Those are like the hardcore, right, people? Well, coffee's a mind altering drug. I'm not stopping that shit. As I take a sip of coffee.
Yeah, yeah, that's the other one. Okay, well, if you like, Buck, we could wrap this up. I'd love to have you back again, of course.
Sure.
Um, And if you guys want Buck back, just please put a heart out there and let us know. I think he's just a wonderful human being. Everybody should get to know him. And yeah, let's see. Blue Sky says drugs are drugs. Runaway kids. You don't need them to live life and have fun. The problem is that when a lot of people are in different families and there's you like you said, Buck, you were 18, you got out and you're an adult and you can go and explore and make your choices. But then there's a lot of sadness out there, and these little kids are always wanting to try something. They may not have the intentions, but there's always some kid on a block that's going to introduce them to something. And I think those talks probably never been in school and never been at home. But I'm hoping that we're getting the shit out of our country. I pray that.
Yeah, because I mean, you have we have people that guy mentioned the other day. He has a lot of friends. He's in his 30s. I had a lot of friends that got into recovery, and all it took for them to be like, "I just one pill won't hurt," and that pill was laced, and they're no longer with us.
Oh,
So it nowadays you can't trust what the heck you're putting into your body, and they do have which it kind of to me enables them, but they have test strips, right? The way you can test your drugs for any fentanyl or anything like that. They give away Narcan, which is great. Like we have a vending machine, right? That has this stuff in it. And all you gotta do is push the button and um but it's just you can't trust what they're putting in these things nowadays, so there's a lot
yeah.
life, you talk about 20-year-old self. Life is a lot better, like Leon said, without the use of drugs and alcohol. Don't fall into that trap of enjoying yourself, right? Like I said earlier, I wanted to enjoy life. I only live once. I want to enjoy. I mean, it's that New York mentality, right? Because I went to the gym yesterday, and it was 9:30 at night. I went there on my lunch break to sit in the sauna. Work was so slow yesterday. I said, you know what? On my lunch break, I'm going to go to the gym at 9:30 at night. There won't be a lot of people there, and I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, Friday night. I'm growing up, 20 years old. I'm out. I'm out either hanging out with friends, getting drunk at the beach or getting high somewhere. I'm not spending no time at the gym, right? But the whole sauna was busy. The gym was packed on a Friday night, and I'm like, I guess that's a good sign. But yeah, it's just you fall in that New York mentality. It's always like the nightlife was the thing, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, each state I think has their own deal, but yeah, are you glad that you're not in that raising your daughter in that state anymore?
Yep, you know, because I use at work. I come home and I use and so hide it from everyone. Now I don't have to worry about it. So life is a lot less stressful when I don't have to worry about the small shit.
Yeah.
So
Yes, sweating the small stuff is just just one of the things that I had to learn along the way also too. My mother would always tell me that it's I was starting to become a real perfectionist. Everything had to be in its place, right? And then it would run smoothly. And it wasn't like I was taught that. I learned this all on my own. It was just part of my personality. And then I have to say, now that I'm retired, I don't give a shit. I
yep,
really don't care. If I want to hang out in my pajamas all day, I will do that.
I forget about it.
Forget about it. All right. Thank you, everybody out there on Rumble. If you, Buck, maybe we could talk about another time. I appreciate the time that you gave us. I know how busy you are, and I wanted everyone, just to say Happy New Year to you, and I wanted to say it personally also. And you're
Happy
just
New
a
Year.
really good human being.
Well, thank you. I mean, that's it's I've always been, and it's just one of the things where you get sidetracked, right? And you do stupid shit growing up. But it's all about being that light, right? And helping others and we're here to change the world, Janine, and we are.
I think everybody is changing the world. We just don't even know that we're doing it. And as we become more conscious, we feel good about ourselves. We just say the simplest things to someone. We talk about not sweating small stuff, but you're not sweating it. You're basically just giving a little smile to somebody that may need it, or holding a door open, or just being kind to someone. And I think a lot of this propaganda that's out there of seeing a lot of these crazy out there is to show you which way that you could go. You can go so extreme, or you could just find yourself again. And I think that's what a lot of people have done. And I truly do believe that. I believe that everyone is saying, I'm a really good human being based upon this stuff that I'm seeing out there. I'm not out there like behaving like that. I'm behaving as I was raised. And I have to truly believe that when parents come together and decide to have a child, they don't decide that, oh, I'm going to, teach them the worst fucking shit out there that it possibly can. They always do it with the great intentions of coming from a place of love. And that's what we have to do, is get back to loving ourselves and then loving others. We have to do it to ourselves first.
Yeah, because unfortunately, some people aren't made to be parents, and a lot of I do hear a lot of stories about childhood. But in the end, if that's what's good about the recovery rooms is we'll show you love until you can love yourself, you
Yeah.
know, and that's why the rooms work.
Yeah. Well, I think we hit a recovery room here tonight. I love it. I
Mhm.
love this. And
Love
I'd
you
love to.
too, Janine.
Yeah, this is fantastic. I hope that we were able to help one person out there, with lifting your spirits a little bit better, because that's what we're all here for. And, we just kind of clear the air of all the bullshit that's going on, any of your problems that you have. And if you do have a problem, let us know in the chat next time Buck comes on, and we'd be glad to help you guys through it.
Yeah, we're here for each other.
Let's see here, Andy 369. Hey, I haven't seen Andy out there in a while. This is giving some thoughts to someone else besides yourself. You better believe it. Yeah, and that's exactly what I did. I don't know if I mentioned this to you, Buck, or not, but at Christmas time, I've been here 3 years. Don't even know my neighbors. Maybe a wave every now and then, right? So I drove up and down like a little old lady in my golf cart, sticking up and down my block, sticking Christmas cards, letting them know Merry Christmas from your neighbor, and I put my address, just my address, mailbox number, right
Yep.
on it, and I touched so many hearts by doing that. It's like I'm cracking
Simple
open.
gesture, right?
Pardon?
Just a simple gesture.
It was that simple. It probably
Yeah.
cost me $10 for a box of Christmas cards, and
Yeah.
going along, and I bet people are like, what is she doing going into my mailbox?
Yeah.
And but then when they opened it up and saw it, I mean, I had a neighbor, I didn't even know what their name was next door to me, and they wrote
Mhm.
me back a beautiful letter, and it was so touching. And I was like, now we're talking.
Yeah.
So
Something a
Valentine's
small.
is coming up, you guys. Stick those Valentine cards.
So it's my birthday. Be another year old, another year older next month.
All you single women may get a date out of it.
Play your cards right.
Yeah, you do have a birthday. It's let me guess. Let me see if I remember. You got a birthday coming up in about a month. It's a month from now.
Yeah.
From today, right?
Actually, no, it was from 2 days ago. Would have been a month. Just the
Oh,
easiest thing to remember is it's the day after Valentine's Day.
okay.
That's
Okay.
how people remember the day after Valentine's Day. Not too hard
There
to
you go.
forget.
Yeah. Blue Sky out there says we all have a problem. We don't see enough of you
That from
both.
us both.
Well, yeah, everyone does have a problem, and I would love for people to let us know what the problems are. Put it in the comments below, because the algorithm loves these comments. And if you want us to talk about anything, it doesn't have to be personal. It could be anything. Uncle Buck and Aunt Janine
Great
will be
movie.
there for you.
That's a great movie. I want to one day make those pancakes on that big open grill and try it out with that big shovel.
It was a great movie. I loved it.
Yes, it was.
Okay, I love you too, and I love everybody for
Love you
being
guys.
here. All right, everyone, take care,
Have
and
a
we'll
great
see you.
weekend.
Yeah, we'll see you the next time, and not before then. Bye bye.
Bye.